don't know if I can see it or not. We'll start by Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the fourth pledge is it the truth, is it fair to all concerned, will it be all good will and beneficial, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Okay. First, I would like to thank everyone who was able to come out to our 5th Tuesday celebration, which was an event that we combined with, I don't know if I'm losing my contact or what's going on here. It was an event that we combined with the Chamber of Commerce for the first time, and I think it was an amazing success. I would like to thank Curtis and Claire Clark for all of your hard work and for everyone who helped. We had over 80 attendees, I believe, and it was such a great time. And we also had an opportunity to give out our parade awards and do some fun business, but a lot of fellowship and just a really, really good time. So thanks to all who were able to be there and all who made it possible. We do have some amazing programs to present to you this morning, but something that I'm very excited about that I want to do first and foremost is to induct our newest Rotary member, Mr. Rodney Ping. So for those of you that don't know Rodney, him and his wife Ann have fairly recently moved back to the Orange County area. Ann was originally from Orange County, and he comes from the Burke family, Jake and Bev. Ann is their daughter, so the whole family has moved back. So we are so blessed to have Jake and now Rodney as a part of our team. And Rodney travels a lot for work, and he does some amazing work in the ag business I would try to describe it, but I mess it up, but doing a lot of cool stuff with seeds and helping our ag industry. So, and Bill is his sponsor, but I just really want to give a warm welcome to Rodney. It's quite a process to become a Rotary member, and he has been visiting our meetings and hanging in there while we go through this lengthy process. So, welcome, Rodney. Okay. I would like for our guests to be introduced. So if you're a Rotary member and have a guest with you, could you please introduce your guest at this time? Bill.
At this time, I'd like to introduce John Pitera. John, a realtor in the Lake and Woods area, well known down there, Pitera Group, and since today is a program is economic development. John serves with me on the economic development board, and he's a fairly new member, so I thought he could come and learn some things about what we do. Welcome, John.
Welcome, John. And John plays a big role in our economic development throughout the county and in the eastern end of the county especially. So it's great to have you here today, John. Yeah.
And I've got Anna Pillow here with me. She's the executive director at the Art Center. She grew up in the area between Orange and the Northern Neck, and so she's well familiar with the community. And she worked in New York for a while and has come back to Orange, and we're glad to have her back.
Thank you for being here today. Are there other visitors?
Yes, I'm visiting today. My name is Jim Reed. And I'm, I guess Barry Bach, not sure Barry's here.
I'm not sure if Barry's here or not. Sometimes he's here, but not here. Welcome back, Jim. I know you've been here before, and it's always a pleasure to have you join us, so welcome. Ellen.
We have Stacy Chapman here, Westwood Flowers, who is a marvelous boutique florist. So she is joining us today. I've been waiting for her to make it.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here today, Stacy, and thank you, Ellen, for inviting her. We love flowers, so that takes quite the talent, so we're glad to have you. Anybody else?
I'm a kind of officiated guest at Ellen Russell, but I've been here before at Grayson Butterfield. I just, business person here in town. I'm very interested in economic development. So, and I've been here with Ellen before, so I feel like I've been around.
Welcome, Grayson. Welcome back, and we're always glad to have you. Anybody else? I know we've got some visitors that will be presenting to us. We'll get to see them in just a bit. Okay, special announcements. Do we have any announcements this morning? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Yes, Kat.
Hi, everyone. Dave and I have joined the Altria Theater in Richmond for their Broadway series. And we're enjoying it immensely. However, they would have a production that we have tickets for that we will be able to take on and cannot use. And it's in early June. It's a production of Beetlejuice, 2 tickets. Second row of the first balcony, great sight lines and sound. If anyone's interested, no cost, or if you know perhaps a theater student who might be interested, I would just hate to see the seats go empty. So, I see Ellen. But if anyone else is interested, no one decides otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. That's awesome. What a great opportunity. Other announcements? Did you have an announcement?
Yes, I'm going to OCHS at the end of the month, and they've made a request for our club to collect travel size toothpaste, soap, oh my gosh. Yeah, shampoo, conditioner, anything travel size that they can put together kits and send back to the communities. So all the district is going to be bringing all this in. So I'm thinking if I make the announcement today, by the next meeting, we could probably do a collection and anything hygiene products that they've asked specifically for those, because if with all those people bringing all those items, if we have different things, it's going to throw things off.
What about toothbrushes?
Toothbrushes, toothpaste, and conditioner and bottles.
Okay. Travel size.
Travel size.
Okay, wonderful. So excited for Dan to go to see pets, and
I'm so excited.
that's an awesome opportunity, and having been there myself last year, it's just really awesome, and it will prepare Deanne, who will be our incoming president, July 1. So if you have any travel size shampoo, conditioner, mouthwash, toothpaste, toothbrush, please bring them to our next meeting, which will be February 20th. And on February 20th, that's going to be a very important meeting for us, because we will have a VIP visitor, District Governor Renee Laws will be coming to visit us. So that's really exciting, and she'll be wanting to learn more about what we've been up to and all the great work we've been doing. She's also requested to be a part of our board meeting. So our board of directors meeting will be moved to that day directly following our membership meeting. So just know that right after that meeting at 9 o'clock sharpish, we will have our board meeting, which is not something we typically do. It will be an open board meeting that everyone's invited to, but we will shift directly from membership meeting to board meeting, just FYI. So if you can come on out and show some love for District Governor Renee. That's gonna be a great time. What else? RLI, do we have RLI filled up? Cal?
Just a quickie update, we have 9 members going to RLI on March the 30th. You have spots for 1 more. Anybody that's interested, then we'll carpool up to Warrenton. It's an easy day. We have 6 signed up for level 1, 3 signed up for level 2. If anybody interested in joining us for level 1, we have 1 more.
RLI is Rotary Leadership Institute. I think it's how it goes. And that is another amazing opportunity. It's a 1-day course. You meet other Rotarians from our district and learn about Rotary and how to be a leader in Rotary. And it's just a really good segue to doing more with Rotary and just getting a better feel for what Rotary does. And that will be in Warrenton. What is the date on that? March
30th.
March 30th
Saturday and Sunday morning.
in Warrenton. So it's an easy commute. We'll have carpools, and if you're interested, just let Cal or any of us know.
I think it's an awesome experience for anybody, especially new Rotarians, but ones who've been to Rotary for a long time. It really demystifies the organization, and gives you a very good sense of the international nature of all the thousands of parts around the world.
Okay. Any more announcements? What did I miss? It's like the auction. Don't move your hand or I'll follow you. Okay, so we will have our first program this morning will be from Orange County and the Central Virginia Economic Development Partnership. Yes.
Anything goes
Yes.
first.
I'm sorry.
They need to go to school.
They have a little important thing to do this morning called school.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for keeping me on track. Okay, so we're gonna have Ellen Pitera with the A team from Orange County High School. And they were scheduled for a previous meeting that got sort of weathered out because of, what was it, snow or ice or something. So we had an A team here. Thank you, Ellen. And I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Good morning. I'm super proud to introduce to you the academic team, but just 1 second before that, I want you to see this important face. Dessa, will you come up here? This is Dessa Stone. She's a new activities director for Orange County High School. She is already doing amazing things. Thank you. And after the meeting? Yeah, of course, yeah. So she'll be here if you have any questions, but she's amazing. So I really would love for you to meet her. Thank you, Nessa. And then I also want to introduce the academic team. Mr. and Mrs. Angadi are the coaches. Some of you know them well. If you've been here in the last year. Why don't you guys come on up here so everyone can see you? And then Michael and Charlie are going to give you a little update on how the team is doing and also what they are excited about in the future. Do the rest of you guys want to stand over here so we can see your handsome, beautiful faces? This is Mr. Angadi.
But you were just gonna hold on to the mic. Okay, all right. If you think I'm nervous, you're right, so. Good morning, thank you for having us. I'm super excited to be here. For all of you who don't know me, my name is Patrick Gotti. I've been a history teacher at the high school for 5 years. I've been the academic team coach for the last 3 years. But I'm the head coach. I'd like to introduce my wife, Giovanna, and she's my assistant coach. She's the one that really holds it all together. She won't admit it, but she does. She keeps me sane in the middle of matches and stuff like that. But I'd like to introduce our team. First of all, I have sophomore Nico Angadi. Oh, and also, I'm sorry, Miss Dr. Desiree Floyd, she was unable to be here. She's our other assistant coach. So anyway, so we have Nico, we have junior Michael Clay. Freshman Jackson Embry. Senior and most awarded member of the OCHS history as it comes to the academic team, Jackson Hamilton. He was named all the way on this last week. Senior and captain Hayden Irving. His brother, sophomore Hudson Irving. Freshman Justin Markin. Sophomore Charlie Pitera. Freshman Laura Ray. And junior Johnny Williamson. So I'm going to hand this over to Charlie. He's going to tell you a little bit about our accomplishments.
Hi guys, I'm Charlie, and last year we had gone to nationals, and following our trip to nationals in Atlanta this year in our regular BHSL season, where we go and compete around other schools in our district, we went 13-1 and we won our district. And then after that, we went undefeated in sub-regionals and won our sub-region. And then in regionals, we were one game off of qualifying for states, so that was a little unfortunate, but everything else, this is the most accomplished we've ever been in BHSL and OCHS history for the Orange academic team. Wait for me, so I'm gonna hand this off to Michael.
Thank you, Charlie. So while the OCHS is blessed to have some incredibly smart students, it would not be possible without the members of the community and the Orange Rotary Club. So thank you so much. You all made our dream of going to national last year possible. We could not have done that without you. And as we prepare to return in May, we have some very exciting fundraising and sponsorship opportunities. We want to invite all of you to our awards night fundraiser, where you can get to know the team a little bit better, have some great food, and maybe compete a little bit against our wonderful team. Thank you.
So, yeah, as Michael just mentioned, you made this all a reality for us last year. We were extremely blessed. 3 years when I took over this position, nobody even knew we had an academic team. And unfortunately, there's still people out there that come up to me every day going, "Oh, we have an academic team." But it's been my goal to really make this part of the community and kind of make it a community effort to know it's very important that the community understands we have some really smart kids in Orange County High School. So thank you so much. Ms. Hale, there you are. I'd like to give you this for the Rotary, just a thank you from last year for all you guys have done for us. So
Thank you.
If anybody has any questions for these, this fine group, sure to be happy to answer it. I'll hand it over to Charlie and whoever else wants to answer.
Okay.
When is the fundraiser night?
it's going to be April 11th, Thursday night, April 11th. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, Thursday night, April 11th. So we're all gonna put that on our calendars, right, guys?
And we'd like, we have a, like a little brochure we'd like to pass out. It's our mugs. And, just a little bit of information on the back, if you'd like to support the team, there's some different options there too, so.
Charlie, what kind of monies are you thinking you might need for like your?
I know it's
The reality of it is, plane tickets, hotels, and food is extremely expensive. It's about $700 per student. Excuse me? Yeah. So.
So I have a challenge for all Rotarians. I'll donate $250 in the pot to go and challenge anybody else to match them.
$250 will obviously help us, but it'll also help you too, because you'll have your business name on the back of our t-shirts that we wear down in Atlanta, so.
If I may, I'd like to ask Charlie or the group, what are the contests? I mean, is this debate?
Oh, yeah.
Is this, what kind of presentation are we making?
So similar to how you would play like a game Jeopardy, it's a lot of trivia questions, so it could really be about anything. It's really mixed, so it's like science, math, politics, anything like that, art, fine arts, literature, current events. There's a lot, religion. So it's really just a mixed pot of whatever you're gonna get. It's completely random, and that's why we have a bunch of these players, because that offers a lot of versatility in our group, so we're able to answer all of those questions.
How many students compete at one time? There are 3 of you and then.
Good question. So it's a 4-on-4 format, and depending on which type of like match we're playing in, whether it's a national qualifier or if it's in our regular season for VHSL, they're formatted a little differently with how the rounds are kept. So it's like a 10 question, or it's a 15 question, like a directed round, and then another 15 questions. But yeah, 4-on-4 format, and you can call subs between like the sessions.
Yes, I was wondering about when you find time to practice and train as a team.
We try and practice every Thursday and Tuesday for at least 2 hours after school. And then once we get closer to when the big national competition will be held, we'll start doing probably 4 days a week. Yeah, we do just as much as sports.
Yes.
How has being on the team prepared you for both school and after school life?
I would say as far as current school, it's very good for learning life things because a lot of the questions we get are school related. So say Hudson, he's in 10th grade, he'll be getting questions that 12th graders should know. So that's putting him a step ahead of a bunch of the other peers. And as far as beyond high school, it's kind of, you're getting to meet people and getting engaged with other people, and that's kind of creating social skills that someone might not get otherwise.
So it's much more beyond knowing Jeopardy questions.
Yeah, one like the camaraderie between the students.
I also feel like aside from that, we'll also all be building connections with our peers from other schools as well, because we often see students from other teams we've seen before, and we're just already building those connections.
I'd also like to add to that as well. It's not only character building, but it's definitely character building. It's not only just social skills and camaraderie and building connections between other schools and even nationally between other coaches and groups, but it's a very intense experience when you are competing in one of these tournaments. And so these students have built up an amazing amount of perseverance, resilience, and when it doesn't go our way, you have to learn how to pick yourself back up and keep on charging. And so I think that they all represent that in just a tremendous way.
So with our challenge donations, how do we get them to the right person and who do we make that check out to?
There's actually, you receive the paper, there should be some information on the back that I can read. I see one. And it might have gotten cut off. Oh, yeah, just.
A check, and who do we give it to?
Just make it out to OCHS, and it can be sent directly to the school, or it can be dropped off at the school. So just in the memo line, academic team. So. Yeah, I mean, and just to wrap it up, like I said, 4 years ago, I came on as an assistant coach, and we were 0-21 when I took over. And we hadn't won a match in like 3 years, and I remember, and some of you heard this story last year. I went up to one of our colleagues in the Jefferson district, and I was like, "So what does it look like when you win the division?" And he's like, "You don't have to worry about that because you, like us, we always end at the bottom. We're always at the bottom." And I was like, "Well, maybe you are one of our days being at the bottom are over." Questions? Go ahead.
I
I was on the academic challenge team in high
Okay.
school when I.
Awesome.
Is there anything that you all need to study with that you do not already have?
We are tremendous, so,
Just from, I knew that was something we were always looking for.
Yes.
so.
and truthfully, we do not have the resources that the Maggie Walkers have and that Thomas Jefferson for science and technology, that those schools that are traditionally champions have. So we're always struggling for new materials, and that's next on the list. In the next few days, I'll be ordering new practice materials, but they're not cheap. So, and so when I say, yes, we need funds. We need funds to be able to prepare these kids the way they need to be prepared, so. A typical packet's what?
45.
Yeah, it's like $45 per packet, so the questions aren't cheap.
We run two.
Yeah. So. Any other question? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. These guys have to go back to class, so they're gonna wait and say goodbye. Email them some other time if you got more questions, or email any guys with me.
Yes. Yeah, if you have, I can print my email on the paper, but if you have any questions, please reach out to Ms. Pitera, and she'll make sure that I get that.
Okay, we hope you have a great day at school and thanks for coming to visit us. Okay, so now we will have Orange County and the Central Virginia Economic Development Partnership come speak to us. We have Ms. Julie Perry, our interim director of economic development and tourism for Orange County. And we have Katie Delaney she's talent director of Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development. So if you all can please come up. Mr. Bill Hager, who is the sponsor of this program.
Thank you, Madam President. It's my pleasure to bring a program about economic development. There are a lot of questions about the future of Orange County, the growth of Orange County. And I serve as chairman of the Economic Development Authority. John McFly, I think John had to leave. He had another meeting with the chamber this morning. Is on the board. Each district is represented by an appointed person from the Board of Supervisors. I was appointed probably 7 years ago, I think, by our late friend Teal Goodwin. And since then, I've worked under Mr. Marshall, Keith Marshall, who is the supervisor for District 3. And there are a lot of things we can't talk about as board members. We go into closed session and we can't answer a lot of questions because if you're a new company looking at Orange County from another locality, you may not want that other locality to know you're leaving. So we go into closed meeting and we play it close to the vest. The Department of Economic Development staff members run the organization along with the supervisors, and Judy works closely with Ted, our county administrator. We are an advisory group. The biggest thing that we've done is buy and sell land and develop land, like the Thomas E. Lee Industrial Park is owned by the Economic Development Authority in the county. We need more land now. We're out. We have 2 lots left out there and we're looking at developing those. We need to have pad ready So if someone wants to come here, the site is low. Right now, we got rolling hills out there. So it's gonna cost a lot of money just to get them level and ready. And there's state money available to help us do that. But Julie, Miss Tourism Director she was, and she's put Orange County on the map. Outstanding job as Tourism Director. Rose Deal was our Economic Development Director, and Rose resigned and has moved over to Culpeper, town of Culpeper. Julie is now our interim. We think she can do the job, and Jed does, and so right now her title is interim. If she moves up, we gotta find someone else for tourism, but that'll come. And we work with the Central Virginia folks out of Charlottesville, and they will tell you about how this works. I'm an advisor. It's an advisory group is basically what it is. And approving things that the county wants to do under economic development. Julie Perry.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Bill. What a nice introduction. I feel a little ill-equipped to follow the group of fantastic students that is just here. I think it would have been better for us to go first. They are the icing on the cake this morning for sure. What an amazing group. Ellen, I know you're really proud of them. Yeah. So as Bill said, I have been with Orange County a little over 2 years, was hired as the Assistant Director of Economic Development and Tourism, with my primary responsibility to do the tourism marketing and public relations work for Orange County. I came to Orange with 11 years at the City of Fredericksburg's Department of Economic Development and Tourism, and almost 6 years with the Virginia Tourism Corporation. So I feel like I brought a wealth of experience and knowledge from those two roles, in particular on the tourism side of the house, but my career has been what I lovingly call economic development adjacent. And I've always worked with colleagues who were handling more of the minutia on the economic development side. And I passionately believe that tourism is economic development work. So, we have a lot of common goals and objectives, and it's super exciting for me. I learned a lot from Rose in my 2 years under her leadership. But it's super exciting for me to be kind of spreading my wings a bit on the economic development side of the house, working with folks like you all who I usually just waved at as you came in and out of our office. But my tourism career has been dotted with wonderful examples of creative partnerships, of storytelling, and of collaboration at the community level. And I really believe that tourism marketing and economic development, those are about creating an environment where businesses can be successful. Obviously we can't make every single business successful that decides to open in Orange County, whether that's a tourism business or a more traditional business. But we work hard to make sure our infrastructure, our county regulations, our support systems are in place so that those businesses have a good opportunity to tell their story, to be successful financially, to contribute to the economic vitality of our community. At its core, economic development is about community development, which is why I think it's so great to be here today, because Rotary is also a lot about community development. So it's important to us that our workforce is up and running. It's important to us that we even engage in conversations about affordable housing. It's important to us that our families can live and work here, that their children can grow up, continue their education, and find career paths back in their hometown. So we do a lot of different things in our office. And our collaborations with regional and state organizations like the Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development are fundamental to our work. I think people start to talk about economic development when they see major business announcements. So you see an attraction announcement, you see somebody deciding to locate in Louisa or in Orange or in Culpeper, and they start talking about that. And of course, business attraction
and business expansion is a portion of what we do. But it's just one side, one element of things. The Economic Development Authority, like Bill mentioned, they are a separate organization than the county government, and there are reasons for that. There are things that they can do as an economic development authority that we can't do as local government, and that's kind of part of why they exist and why communities really all over the country have economic development authorities or industrial development authorities, IDAs or EDAs. Nairobi, I believe the town has an IDA, yeah, and the county has an EDA.
They also have a representative on the Orange County Economic Development. The town of Orange has a member along with the districts.
Right. So there are things that the Economic Development Authority allows us to accomplish that would be challenging or maybe even impossible as a purely functioning as a local government organization. And so we really appreciate Bill, many years of leadership on the Economic Development Authority for Orange County. And of course, John, who was here earlier, and all the members who have decided to serve. There are things that Bill mentioned, closed session, that we have to discuss privately. There's a portion of our work that you all don't get to see. And sometimes that's hard, but we are working behind the scenes to bring businesses here, to work with prospects and just to make our climate more compatible and more inducive to business success. At its core, tourism marketing and economic development, we're talking about driving taxable sales revenue. We're talking about bringing in dollars for the infrastructure and community support for things like schools and public safety and that sort of thing. So we're monitoring our transient occupancy tax, our meals and lodgings tax, our machinery and tools tax, all of those kind of things as a county to make sure that we're being successful, that we're driving the needle in the right direction. So it's certainly a pleasure to be here today. I am currently still learning about all of our regional partnerships. But the folks, Katie and Candace and Helen and the team at the Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development, they are an amazing resource. It's kind of like an extension of our office in many ways. So in economic development, we talk about a LEDO, a local economic development organization, LEDO. And that is our office here in economic development and tourism for Orange County. We are your LEDO group. Then they talk about REDO groups, regional economic development organizations, the Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development. They are our REDO group. And then there's state offices for economic development. So in Virginia, we have the Virginia Economic Development Partnership. This afternoon, one of Katie's colleagues, Candace, has been taking a person from the state around to see different sites that are available for development, so that as Virginia is trying to attract new business into the community, they have a really fresh and current understanding of what's available there. And I'll be meeting with Candace later on this afternoon as she brings someone from the state state economic development organization down here to see some sites. Bill mentioned lot 14 and 15 in the industrial park. That's where we're going this afternoon. I'll be taking them over there. They're going to get kind of a look at the land in its raw form. And the Economic Development Authority did at its last meeting, vote to move forward to make those two lots at what Bill described as pad-ready sites. So sometimes it's about the expense of getting those lots ready for development for businesses, but sometimes it's also about the timeline. If they have a year's worth, 6 months worth of work to do to get the site just ready to go, then it's going to affect their timeline for getting up and open and how quickly they want to be functional in our community. So it's a lot of reasons we invest in that, and it's exciting to see the Economic Development Authority move forward on that regard. But Katie's going to talk a little bit today about what they do at the Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development. We get a fair amount, if not 75 to 80% of our leads, I would say, from the Central Virginia Partnership for Economic Development. So if you're a big business manufacturing company, you know you're ready to expand, you know you're ready for a new location. You may contact the state and say, I think Virginia has the regulatory environment that we want for our company I'm looking for X number of acres, it has to be close to water and sewer, I have to be able to get a major gas line. I had a business recently contacting us and they're looking for a natural gas pipeline. And that's kind of a fundamental core thing that they need. And so, you know, it's all sorts of reasons why somebody might choose one locality over another. And things that you never even thought about. These are the newest things for me as I take my tourism hat off and put on an economic development one. Somebody starts talking about water usage and the number of you know, how much electrical they need and those sorts of things. It's very engineering focused, detailed work about what these individual companies need for their new site, for their new property. And so the work the Economic Development Authority is definitely gonna help. But Katie has a very formal presentation today. And I think Bill's getting antsy, that probably means I should stop talking. So, but thank you so much. I look forward to working with each of you. And if you have any questions about the things that are on the horizon for our office, I'm happy to answer those.
Liked taking this off earlier, so I'm gonna do that so I can see the slides. Thank you so much, Julie. And usually when I'm presenting, I do have either our president, Helen Coffin, with me or Candace Spence. But as Julie said, they are working with BEDP today, so it's really, you teed up a lot of the stuff they would have said, so I appreciate that. So I do have some slides here. You all asked really amazing questions earlier, so if you have questions for me as we go through these slides, feel free to just put your hand up and I'm happy to answer them as I can as we go. But as Julie explained, we're the Regional Economic Development Organization and I'm the talent director at Central Virginia Partnership. So I know she just spoke to us, so thank you, that's very nice. About economic development being focused on community development, but we really see it that way too. So why this work is important is that we're helping create more jobs in our region as a whole. We at the partnership really focus on jobs in higher wage and high growth industries. I'll show you what those sectors are. But we also partner with workforce development very closely, Virginia Career Works, who has different regional footprints. And so we really do cover jobs writ large, like across the board. And knowing that economic development promotes bringing in new capital investment because it leads to all of these things that are beneficial for the community, higher tax revenues. It eases the tax burden on homeowners and provides certainly a number of services for all of us. This is the Rito, Virginia economic development at the state level. So again, at the regional level here, this is the state. So the economic development partnership as a whole, as a state level, has 18 different regions. We're in the middle. Region 8 for the state, but we have their liaisons from the state level in all of these different regions. And as Julie was talking about, sometimes leads for the localities come from the regional level, like we're working very closely at the state level when businesses look for, where they're trying to decide a site selection, they start at the state level and then the state helps them hone in on a region and then we get involved. And then they hone in even further on the locality. Some people might wonder, why is regionalism a unit to organize here? We think there's lots of benefits for businesses and all of us. A collaborative approach really is helpful. There are lots of services and resources we can provide for businesses when we organize at the regional level rather than just locality. I think it makes us more competitive with national and global rivals. And we have a lot of camaraderie and support and rapport within our region where the localities have their own individual nature and flavor for sure. And so they can really support each other as businesses are deciding where to either expand a project or start a business. So this is our footprint for Central Virginia Partnership. Our office is in Charlottesville, but we cover the city of Charlottesville and then 8 surrounding counties. We're a public-private partnership, we're a 501c6 and C3, so nonprofit and foundation. And it's a collaboration of lots of different stakeholders, including government, officials, higher education, and business stakeholders. There's a lot in there. Just a quick look at our leadership. We have 24 board members. Pace Lochte, who's with University of Virginia Economic Development, is our current chair. Our vice chair is Blair Williamson, who oversees SL Williamson. That's a private business, so we alternate each year.
She's also the owner of Aquafault
Yeah,
out in our industrial park, one of our recent additions.
yeah.
And Ted Voorhees, our county administrator, is on the board of directors for this organization.
Thank you. So, yeah, we alternate our chairs from public-private entities each year, so it goes back and forth. So next year Blair will be the private representing. So yeah, 9 jurisdiction leaders, the community college directors in our region, which is PVCC and Germana, have a presence, and then 5 ex officio offices. This is just a list of our investors, again, showing we have public and private investing. And then, so I'm gonna give you kind of like a snapshot of our 3 main strategies right now that are central to our program of work. The first one is really promoting Central Virginia as a good place for business and building a national identity for business, continuing to build it, which is really through marketing. Marketing is our strategy for doing that. So this is focused on attracting new businesses to the region. And then also, as Julie mentioned, expanding, helping with business expansion for companies that already exist here. These are our target sectors that I talked about earlier, so our high growth kind of industries that are central here for our region. Business, financial, biosciences, defense and security, IT, agribusiness, and advanced manufacturing. These also tend to have higher wage positions that we're really helping promote as these companies expand and land here. It's also been bringing that capital investment and higher paying jobs. This is a snapshot of our progress since 2020. We're really excited across the board that our region is very well represented across the board throughout our localities as well as different sectors. We've had 23 announcements, over 926 jobs. AWS, the Amazon Web Services jobs, are not calculated in that number. And $14.77 billion of new capital investment. The largest $11 billion of that was with the Amazon Web Services announcement in Louisa this last year, which was a really huge project.
Yeah.
Really exciting for Miters, additional location here in Orange and MPS and their expansion also on our list. Our second strategy is for site acceleration, which really Julie talked quite a bit about. That was super helpful. You can see at the top here, we have 5 different tiers that the state has created this kind of tier system to get businesses or get sites that are pad ready, as Bill said. As a partnership, we really can't advertise a site or promote a site for a new business until it's at least a tier 3. So we work hard to try to help localities identify what sites are ready for advancement and then find funds and apply for funds to help them do that work. So this is another one of our big strategies moving forward. We just finished up a Go Virginia grant that was focused on this. Brought in over $786,000 in grant monies to promote site advancement. We were the applicant, so we kind of oversaw that project for the site advancement, but we worked closely with Louisa County, the Shannon Hill Regional Business Park, and also Culpeper County with what they were calling their wing spread site in advancing that. Shannon Hill is now above a tier 4 after work on that project. They still have to get certified as that, but they really made some strong advancement, and Culpeper County's site has done a lot of infrastructural work. So again, with the water and utilities work, they've been able to identify what businesses will need to be able to land there. We are starting right now, excuse me, the process of another 5-year project to continue this work. And if you're interested in that, I certainly will put you in touch with our president, Helen Coffin, to keep talking with you about that. I mentioned Go Virginia. We do a lot of work with Go Virginia and applying for their funds. One of the talent grants that I'm going to talk about in just a minute is also funded by Go Virginia. So I know that's another entity, but to make sure everyone's familiar, it's a state initiative that's focused on cooperation between localities for economic development. Their targeted industries are almost the exact same as ours, without defense. That's the one they don't cover. And their focus areas here are right in line with our work. So talent development sites is this one that we were applied for, but also growing businesses and then innovation kind of startups. Okay, this is the strategy that's my lane as the talent director. So our third strategy is attracting and retaining talent for our region. Talent is, everyone is talking about right now. So it's a lot, of course, it's big, important work to get businesses here and to help businesses expand, but the leading kind of factor for businesses to decide where they're going to land their business is talent right now. And so they want to know where am I going to find the folks that I need to hire. So that's where this strategy comes in. Over the last year and a half, we have had 3 kind of central initiatives under this umbrella that I'm going to talk to you about. The first is our talent website, livingcentralva.org. This website really showcases what it's like to live, work, and play in Central Virginia. All of our localities have a page on there, so I did a little snapshot of Orange counties. But it showcases what is locally about your locality, how it fits into the larger region. It has fun things like Skydive Orange on there, and also businesses that are located within your bounds that connect to the hiring page. So folks who are thinking about moving here, it's hopefully easier for them to find jobs. We also have under the work tab, all of our different kind of sectors that I highlighted spelled out, and then there are the company logos for companies within our region that fall within that sector there on the website. There's media, including interviews of current employees at a couple of our different businesses. This is Castle Hill Gaming and Willow Tree. Again, to just have some different formats for folks that are interested in some of our companies to know what it would be like to work there. We've partnered with Livability Magazine to put out 2 editions of Central Virginia Magazine. There are some copies here by the door, so please, if you haven't seen them, take one when you leave. The second one on the right just came out last fall, and so we're starting to circulate it around the region. If you have places where you think people would love to pick one up and see it, please be in touch with me. I'd love to supply you with a number of them. But this is marketed for 25 to 40-year-olds. There's all kinds of stories and features, again, about business, but also just quality of life, what it's like to live here. I think the photos are really beautiful, and Livability has done a great job just telling stories about the region that are interesting. And then this is the Go Virginia grant I wanted to mention. So TechLink, we're in our 2nd year, and TechLink is a talent retention grant. So I oversee this. I work with some college students who are work study interns at UVA, and they help promote job openings and businesses from the region to their students or their peers to make sure college students are aware of the job opportunities here. I'm sorry. We have strategies for student engagement and business engagement. So one of our biggest, most consistent things is that every Monday I send out with the interns a student newsletter. We have about 175 students subscribed. These are mostly juniors and seniors that are starting their job search and wanting to they're interested in staying in the area, wanting to know what opportunities are here. We also showcase job openings, networking events. Every spring, we host a networking event in Charlottesville for businesses to meet college students as like leading into the spring and summer. We are big on social media and promoting opportunities through that, and we just updated the website for students that there's now a job board specifically on that website to supplement school-specific sites like Handshake, and the community colleges have their own kind of job board. And we have spotlights on the different companies on our website too, so students can see that all in one go. Our business engagement strategies really mirror that. So businesses help write those spotlights for the newsletter. We really seek out opportunities like this to be able to move around the region and make sure businesses are aware of this initiative. We're going to try Takeover Tuesday and things like that on social media with business leaders this year so that they can just kind of use our platform to show inside their business what it's like to work there, since that's easy for students to see and they're on social media. One of our big takeaways, and we're just trying to make sure this message is heard by business leaders, that if you have positions that you're hiring for and you're trying to reach UVA students specifically, they need to be posted on Handshake. If you don't know what Handshake is, or you're not familiar with how to post them, our intern team is happy to work with businesses on that. But it's really kind of like, students aren't seeing them if they're not on Handshake. So if you have an entry-level job opening, these are kind of the steps for what we're asking so that we can best support businesses. Again, first to post on Handshake, but then to be in touch with me so that I can do all of these other things to elevate that position for students. Newsletter, social media. I have one-on-one meetings with students often where they'll just tell me about their job search and ask, like, do you know of openings in this sector or within this locality? So it's really helpful when I'm in touch with businesses directly to hear about those openings. And if a business doesn't have openings right now, but just wants to increase visibility, there are other things we can do creatively to be in touch, whether that's a site tour or like a virtual event, a panel. We love to brainstorm those things with you. Okay, I know we're getting really close to time. This is my last slide, but just to show you how we do have a partnership with, I work closely with 2 internship grants as well. So if you have businesses that are interested in internships, I'm happy to connect you with the folks who help promote that. One is out of Virginia Career Works and one is at UVA. And we meet every month as a talent collaborative to just share what work we're doing with businesses. So I don't oversee the internship work, but again, happy to put you in touch with them if that's helpful for you. And then this is Helen's email if anybody wanted to follow up about the Advancing Sites project that I talked about that will be starting again. She, I know, would love to chat with you all. My business card is here as well. If there's anything that I talked about with talent or the partnership in general, I'm happy to follow up as well.
Thanks for coming down early this morning, Katie. Julie, can I speak about Aerojet? Is that public? No. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, we all want to know though.
Come on. Stay tuned.
Talk about that.
So, economic development in our county is going well. There are people on staff that are looking every day. And as our group, we approve when we think it's proper, and so far it's all been proper. And thank you, Julie, for.
And we do have a couple exciting announcements coming down the pike, and you know, at some point, Bill will tell you all of them.
And the MITRE Corporation went through Central Virginia. They were looking for a site to test their drones. And they were located in Charlottesville, but they were so near the airport, they couldn't test the drones. So they were looking for a site through Central Virginia, working with us. They have a drone test site in the industrial park. And, things like that, a lot of people don't know about, especially now that we don't have a newspaper. So getting the word out, I can tell you, since working with nonprofit, it's tougher today than it used to be. That's why I'm on Facebook almost every day begging for money. There's not a lot of ways to get it out there.
Thank you, Bill, Julie, and Katie, and we have a little, gift for both of y'all for being here this morning. And if we could get a picture. I loved it. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for all of your great work. One announcement I failed to make earlier. I just want to remind folks of the luxury bingo Mardi Gras ball on Saturday, February 24th from 7 to 11 p.m. This is to benefit State. Who we were supposed to have a presentation by them or from them earlier, I think also when that got snowed out. So if you're interested in that, just know that it's the Mardi Gras ball. Barbara made an announcement at our 5th Tuesday, but I just felt inclined to remind folks of that. And you can go to the SAFE website for more info. But I also want to get a picture with our new member, Rodney King. I know he needs to get on the road, so if you can get a picture with him.
You need this as well, or?
I'm going to stick it in your packet. I will give you a new member packet. Also, you put it in the Just a side note, Rodney's also a heck of a pickleball player, so that's always a plus. Okay. Do we have any other business announcements, anything that I missed?
Come talk to Dessa. Dessa Stone is still here if you want to ask her questions.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Dessa Stone is still here if you want to ask questions or just introduce yourself.
There's another organization that's again.
Okay, well, we are done. So thank you so much. Have a great day.